What's up, guys? So I wanted to get your opinion today on reparations. Reparations is the payment for amends of the wrong done to someone by paying them money. It's to amend the wrong done to someone through the payment of money. Now, a lot of black people are into a movement of reparations. And in this black movement of reparations, it is demanding the payment for non-blacks, government agents, and organizations profiting off the harm to black people or of black people. So, in my opinion, when we ask for reparations for this matter in particular, it's like we're putting a value on black people's life. It's like, in my opinion, the only thing that we're worth is whatever this reparations amount is. In my opinion, we should be responsible for our growth, for our progress, for our achievements, for our success. One of the things that they're asking for reparations for when it comes to black people being harmed or profited from harming of black people is for the denial of higher education. Now, as long as everyone has the opportunity to go to school and learn the basics, reading, writing, arithmetics, basic English, basic geography, basic science, as long as everybody has the ability to go to school and obtain these skills, these abilities, it's completely up to you how high your education goes. You can increase your education no matter how old you are, as long as you can read, as long as you have the mental capacity, as long as you have the desire, as long as you have the discipline, as long as you have the know-how, you can get a higher education anytime you want to. There are books you can read. There are YouTube videos that you can watch. There are seminars you can attend. There are so many ways that we can increase our education. So to say that we need reparations because we were denied a higher education is silly. All we have to do is decide that we want to get a new skill, get a new certification, get a new degree, and there is nothing holding us back from doing that other than ourselves, other than us making a decision to do something. Now, the next thing that they're asking for reparations for is guaranteed minimum living income. Guaranteed minimum livable income. To me, I would never ask someone to grant me guaranteed minimum livable income. As black people, we got to start being average. We got to start depending on the same people who have hurt us, the same people that profited off harming us to now benefit us, to now have us in our best interest, to now put a value on our life with the same people who have devalued, disrespected, mistreated, harmed, and done these so-called things to us, to now ask them to pay us a value that they think is of value based on how we should live is ridiculous. Okay, to ask for guaranteed minimum livable income of someone who has hurt you or harmed you is devaluing yourself. You should want to live the best life you could possibly live. You should want to live the life that you desire to live. You should be willing to do whatever it takes to live the quality of life that you want to live, not be guaranteed just to live the minimum livable life that there is to live. Whatever it is that you want, you have the ability to get, to obtain, to manifest into your life. It's completely up to you what type of life you live. It's completely up to you how much money you make. It's completely up to you what type of job you have. It's completely up to you what type of house you live in. You have the ability to control that by the decisions you make, by the habits, by the discipline that you take in your life. Your actions line up with what you see, your reality. We have an external reality and we have an internal reality. The internal reality is what we believe about ourselves, what our mind thinks and produces and comes up with. And then we have our external reality, the things that we see, exist, know, that other people can live in with us. So when your internal reality is thinking one way, it's going to show in your external reality. So whatever the life you want to live, whatever type of life you want to live, just know that you have the ability to do that. But don't sit around and just do the bare minimum. Don't sit around and be complacent with being average. Don't sit around and be complacent with just getting by. Don't sit around and be complacent and comfortable with living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, depending on the government to give you something so that you can eat and feed your family and put a roof over your family's head. Don't cheat the system, beat the system. The next thing that they're asking for reparations for is the wealth that is extracted from our black communities. Now, if we were to receive reparations for that, what are we going to do to put wealth in our black communities is the question. If we were to receive reparations, what is it that we're going to do with that money is the question. How are we going to build our black communities up moving forward should be the real question. How can we put wealth back in our black communities is the real question. How can the people in the black communities, what can they do for themselves that will make them more wealthy, more prosperous, more abundant in their quality of life? Those are the questions that we should be asking. Those are the questions that we should be demanding answers to of ourselves. Everything that is being asked for in return of reparations, we should be demanding this of ourselves. We should be demanding of ourselves a higher education. We should be demanding of ourselves guaranteed minimum living income as a starting point, but we should have goals that we are going towards, moving towards, doing everything possible to obtain. The last thing that they're asking for reparations for is not teaching enough about black culture in school. Now, I'm going to ask this question again. What is it that we're teaching at home about black culture? What is it that we're going ourselves to learn about black culture? What is it that we plan on contributing in the future to black culture? What legacy do I want to leave behind about black culture? How do I want to leave an imprint in black culture? What do I want my kids or family to know about black culture? What does black culture mean to me? Those are the questions we should be asking. So guys, one, and I'm going to end this video. Reparations is putting a value on black people's lives, and nobody can put a value on our lives other than ourselves. Two, self-taught is a higher way of learning. Pick up a book. Go to a seminar, look at a YouTube video, follow somebody who is giving game, who is educational, and who is full of wisdom and knowledge, and be a student and be willing to learn. Three, invest in our youth. We have to invest in our children. It is our job to make sure that our children know the things they need to know to have the best quality of life, to become the best version of themselves, to become their most authentic selves. That is our job as parents. That is our jobs as leaders in our communities. That is our jobs as mentors in our community. That is our job to make sure that our youth know about black culture, that our youth is an investment to black culture, that we as black leaders are leaving a legacy behind for the black culture. And number three, we want to make sure that we stop looking at what happened and start looking at how we're going to make sure this doesn't happen again. We got to make sure that we're looking at how we're going to become more prosperous. We got to look at how we're going to get in ownership of resources and businesses and organizations and homes and land and property. We got to start looking at how we're going to get ourselves in a better position. We got to look at how we're going to keep ourselves in a better position. We got to look at how we're going to change or affect the Black legacy or culture that our kids and grandkids and great-grandkids will learn about. So no, we don't need reparations. We need restoration into how to live a better life. We need restoration on having a greater and a higher mentality on how to live a better life. We need restoration on how to be owners and how to reap so that we can later sow. We need restoration on our dominion in America, on this land that they call earth. We need restoration to be our most authentic self and live a life of progress, balance, and a level and a spiritual foundation. Y'all have a blessed weekend.